instead of creating your own institutions where you're able to control the fate over somebody who violates you, this is what you deal with. So when Skip Bayless, after all of this dust settles, when he still has his job, don't ask any questions about it. Skip Bayless will still have his job because the world is at rest. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so if you haven't seen the first video about Skip and his tweet about Damar Hamlin, I would suggest that you go back and watch it. But apparently, since all of this went down, there are a bunch of athletes calling for Skip Bayless to be fired. All right, first and foremost, I don't know where these athletes have been, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. Skip Bayless isn't gonna get fired. There's many reasons that Skip Bayless would not get fired, and if you haven't figured out what those reasons are, I suggest you go back and watch all of my content. All right, but if you pay very close attention to how the media is portraying this, what they're doing is they're not really criticizing Skip Bayless for his tweet or giving any opinions on his tweets at all. Basically, all they're doing is reporting what people have said about Skip Bayless's tweets, and they're just reiterating the things that Skip Bayless have said with no opinions or no commentary on their own. And when that's what ends up happening, what that basically does is it sets the tone to make it appear as if the people who have the outrage are the ones who are overreacting. And if the media doesn't have an opinion on it, then that basically means we're looking at this as if nothing happened. All right. So I just find it fascinating, and something that I want to ask a question about. All of the people who always say that these athletes should shut up and dribble, all of these people that say that, you know, these people don't deserve to get paid this much money. Just want to ask you guys a question. When's the last time you had a heart attack and had to be resuscitated at your job? Just saying, you know, just curious. In most cases, when it comes to pay, regardless if it's an investment or if it's a job, risk negatively correlates with return. So that means if you have it positively correlates with return. So if you have a high risk job or a high risk investment, your expectation is a high risk, a high amount of return or a high amount of pay. Mathematically, that's what that is. Those are basic principles of finance. Why somebody should say someone should shut up and dribble, or if you are in a situation where there's hard human contact all the time, why somebody feels you should be getting paid minimum wage for that is beyond me. Maybe we need to ask the people who make comments like that those questions, because they allegedly have such superior intellects. They should be able to explain the mathematical anomaly that they feel should be normal. But I digress. All right, this is an article from New York Post, where New York Post makes no criticism whatsoever of what Skip Bayless said. All right, so what it says is athletes call for Skip Bayless to be fired after sick, quote unquote, Damar Hamlin tweet. All right, NFL players, NBA players, and retired pro athletes are calling for Skip Bayless to be fired for comments he made in the aftermath of Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffering a cardiac arrest on the field during Monday Night Football. Now, you know who I didn't see say anything about this? Didn't see anything from Shaq. Didn't see anything from Charles Barkley. All right. After the Bills-Bengals game was suspended in Cincinnati, the Undisputed host took to Twitter to chime in on the situation. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? Bayless tweets as medical personnel tended to Hamlin on the field in Cincinnati. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which is suddenly seems so irrelevant. Yeah, because somebody's heart stopped beating, and their heartbeat is crucial to their life. But I mean, who cares, right? You know, just These are cattle out here. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and run. You know what I'm saying? Shut up and rush the ball. Shut up and tackle, right? You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why, as irritating as it is for white people, that black people, which I don't agree with, because I agree with world domination when you're dealing with a situation like this, but black people tend to try to be civil and have to constantly remind these people that, hey, you know, people other than your lives matter. People's health other than yours matter. But when you're living in a world where you attempt to negotiate people who have narcissism as a collective part of their cultural trait, there is no negotiation. There's only victim blaming and abuse, which is one of the reasons why, if people are walking around with that temperament, those people need to be contained in order for you to sustain your survival. You know what I'm saying? So now here, this individual named Sauce tweets, "Are you seriously talking about when the football game should be postponed? Damar Hamlin's health is all that matters at this moment, nothing else." And then this person, Des Bryant, says, "We need to cancel Skip Bayless ASAP." So now what's going to happen is, you know, a bunch of population at large flunkies are going to run around and just repeat that the cancel mob is coming after Skip and that we got to protect Skip at all costs. You know what I'm saying? You know what they do, just repeat a bunch of nonsense. You know, we have to protect Skip at all costs, but here's the real question: who is protecting Damar Hamlin? And if you ask me, people's attitudes, who have attitudes like Skip, are the reason why someone would play a person like Damar Hamlin until they're almost dead, because they don't care. And it's not looked at as harming anybody because you're getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, meanwhile, Bryant shared a number of tweets slamming Bayless. "We need to cancel Skip Bayless," Bryant wrote, adding in another tweet, "F you, Skip Bayless." Okay. So now here it says, free agent NBA point guard Isaiah Thomas replied to Skip Bayless, writing, "I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of the game is very sad." ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins wrote, "You're a sick individual, real talk." Hall of Fame wide receiver Terrell Owens reposted Bayless's tweet to Instagram and said it was the most despicable tweet ever, adding, "I hope you lose your job." So now what I want you guys to understand is that the way that the world works, if there is a collective of black men that feels a certain kind of way, in order to show superiority, in order to show reign over these black men, in order to show that you are nothing, to perpetuate that sediment to the rest of the community as well as to the rest of the world, to allow the rest of the world to know that there is no way out, and also to tell the community that there is no one who can break this system, they're going to double down on this. And Skip Bayless, if anything, he won't get fired. There's not going to be any recourse, and he'll probably get a raise and a contract extension. And what that is just a silly game, just to show this is the kind of control that we have, and it doesn't matter how many of you say anything, this is how it is. All right. So again, when you choose to work for these people, instead of creating your own institutions where you're able to control the fate over somebody who violates you, this is what you deal with. So when Skip Bayless, after all of this dust settles, when he still has his job, don't ask any questions about it. Skip Bayless will still have his job because the world is correct. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, prior to his controversial tweet about postponing the game, Bayless did say that he said a prayer for Hamlin and his family. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin, Bayless tweeted amid the tragic scene on Monday night. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. All right. He continued, "I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet have never seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I've witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different." And this is a problem. The attitude being, hey, that's football. This is a problem. These people getting injured, these are somebody's family members. These are somebody's kids. They're not animals, like how the population at large still believes that we are, because these people haven't evolved or changed one bit. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, according to the Bills, Hamlin is sedated and listed in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, where the second-year safety was transported by ambulance. The Bills-Bengals game was postponed after Hamlin collapsed on the field in the first quarter after making a hard tackle on Bengals receiver T. Higgins. The 24-year-old initially got up after the hit and appeared disoriented before falling down to the ground on his back. CPR was performed on Hamlin on the field after his collapse, and his heartbeat was restored on the field before he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. Jordan Roney, the CEO of sports marketing agency Jaster Athletes, who is Hamlin's marketing representative and friend, provided an update on Twitter on Monday night. Hamlin's vitals are back to normal, and they have put him to sleep to put a breathing tube down his throat. They are currently running tests, Roney wrote. So now remember, I said that all of this would probably happen. He'd be in the hospital on a ventilator, and that's what this implies. You know what I'm saying? University of Cincinnati Medical Center did not anticipate making any statement early Tuesday. On Tuesday's installment of Fox's Undisputed, Bayless, and pay very close attention, the media keeps saying that Bayless apologized. Bayless did not at one point ever apologize. You know what I'm saying? What Bayless did was clarified and doubled down on his stance for discussing regular sports topics with Hamlin's life still in jeopardy. So here is the clip of Skip Bayless not apologizing. And let's listen one more time for clarity that he did not apologize. What he did was he said he's sorry that you all didn't understand what he said the first time. So for your convenience, he's going to reword what he said. He did not say he apologized for any of his sentiments.
Jen, allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front, I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. In fact, I'm still wrecked. In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this show today. But after barely sleeping on it, I decided to give it a try. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe we will fail, but we're going to try. We wrestled through much of the night whether to even do a show today, because it felt like in our minds, we almost can't win with this, because the last thing we want to try to do is come off as insensitive to what this young man is going through in a life or death situation. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports. As this show goes on, we're going to try to talk about a little bit of sports, but we're going to continue to talk about what happened to this young man last night and try to sort back through it with help from you and the audience. And we ask you now, if you'd like to tweet us your emotions of the night and of this morning about what happened to Damar Hamlin, please do so. You can tweet us at @undisputed, and I will be sharing some of your tweets and your emotions as we share our experience of last night through this very difficult morning for all of us. Obviously, my partner Shannon Sharp is not here today. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow.
So there's that. All right. No apology again. So I'm not exactly sure what these mainstream media outlets are talking about and why they keep saying Skip apologized. And one way that we can verify that he didn't apologize is because we just saw Whoopi Goldberg. We just saw Kyrie Irving. Now, here's the question. Did what Skip Bayless did look like what Kyrie Irving and Whoopi Goldberg were forced to do? So leave your answer in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, watch the video all the way through to the end, and check out the next video that YouTube puts as your suggested. And I will catch you all later. All right, peace.